Well, I'm doing some last little touch-ups on the boat. See, I grinded a little bit of the prop down. Not much. I just beveled it off. Got some little nicks that were on it. You know, each one had some scrapes and nicks, but nothing major. I figured our prop was totally gone by the sound of it. But I just wanted to smooth the edge, and I think it actually is going to make it a little bit, cut the water a little bit nicer, because when I got this prop new, the edges were so round compared to the original prop that was on here. The edges were nice and sharp, and it seemed like the original prop was faster than that one. I'm going to screw in my aluminum. The aluminum that I put in here, I tried to epoxy it, and I thought I'd read epoxy sticks to aluminum, but apparently it did not stick, because once I stood right here, they just popped right off. So I'm going to put those back underneath there, put a little 5200 on them, and screw them in with some stainless steel screws, and then fill in the top. I gotta eventually repaint this deck because I got epoxy on it in some spots. I'm gonna blow the boat out, put the seats back in, get it ready. Maybe put one coat of paint on the floor just to clean it up, so when my father-in-law and I go out, it looks nice and clean. I fixed my bow hook, or I guess my bow eye, and what I did was I took it off. It was a pain in the ass to get off because the bolt on the back side of it was like 4 inches long, sticking out, and about 3 inches of it was sticking on the other side of the hull. And to get that nut off there, I had to use a wrench taped to a pair of long needle nose and just slowly work it off until I could get it out here and twist it off. Now when I put it back, before I put it back, I took a grinder and grinded off all the paint, and it was a chrome plated, and the chrome was all flaking off, so I decided I'd just grind the chrome off and see what was underneath. I checked it with a magnet, and it looks like it's stainless steel, so I figured why not just reuse it. That's what I wanted to buy anyway, a stainless steel one. I don't get why they would put chrome over stainless steel. You know, the stainless steel is better, I think. Now, anybody who watches this video, I am curious about something. See if you can tell me what these chains are for. I don't know if I can get it to focus, because I'd like you to see. Let me try to get my hands better here. See, it hooks up underneath there. They just hang, you know, on the other side it's exactly the same, and this just hangs. And I'm thinking maybe it was something to do with the tire, but you can't hook it to the tire because the hooks are backwards, so that doesn't make any sense, and it's too far away from my tongue, my hitch, because it's just, you're not going to be chaining from all the way back here, and I just don't get what they're for. Anyway, I want to eventually get a new winch. This winch sucks, and I want to get a new jack for it, because this one is just flimsy junk. Those are two things I want to get new. But all in all, that's what I'm doing. And I did touch it up and paint the bottom, so you can see the paint. I guess I didn't stir it enough because you can see dark spots and light spots, but it's the bottom, so I'm not too concerned. But yeah, everything worked out pretty good there. Hopefully, I'm going to do another water test with my father-in-law. We'll drive around a little bit and look in the hull, make sure no water's coming in anywhere. I'm going to bring a sponge. I had normally been leaving like a painter sponge, one of those big painter sponges, in the boat, in the hull, to just soak up any water that may be in there, and then you can just easily squeeze out the sponge. It's way better than a rag. You know, I do have a cup if there's enough to, you know, bail out with a cup, just to get the water out, just to find out if any water is coming in. Now, I'm gonna jack my front end up really, really high to get any water that's settled up in the front, because the bow of my boat, it's lower than the back, so all the water wants to go forward when it's sitting on the trailer. So I'm gonna tilt it up really high, get the water all to the back, sponge it out, and then I'll have to check to see if it's gonna rain. I'll throw a tarp over the boat just to prevent any rainwater getting in, because I really would like to know if any water is getting in. That was the whole point of fixing the floor and fixing the hull. And when we were out, I did get a chance to check the jack plate, the height of my motor. I could probably go like a ½ an inch higher. Now I don't know if it's worth it. I'm gonna test it out with my father-in-law a little more, and maybe have him video while I'm driving, and see if we can see, because I'd really like to get it at the optimum height, the optimal height. My jack plates, I mean my trailer guides, they are working great. I am so happy I made those and put them on. They are working great. I'm missing a wheel well. I'm just going over a few things. It's Christmas Eve and just doing yard work, and my wife's power washing. She likes to power wash. You can probably hear that annoying buzzing, high-pitched sound, which is the electric power washer. But we're gonna power wash all this, and she's power washing the driveway right now. I started the motor yesterday and it sounded phenomenal. For the fact that we hit stuff with it, I thought it was done. I thought I had ruined the motor. Thought maybe we hit the leg. You can see there's a little nick in the leg. That was already there, and I already fixed it once. But I fixed it with JB Weld, so we just knocked that same piece off. So I just lightly grinded it just to smooth it out for now. But that's it. I probably, after doing this whole jack plate deal, at this point the motor is still a little lower than original, off the back. It's still lower technically, but the angle, you know, since you're moving back, it changes your depth. Now, all in all, it's allowed me to definitely test the height and adjust, and the plate works great. I may go through and tighten up everything again, since the first time I've put it on. I need to probably tighten everything back up. But before I had done it, I assumed that I needed to lower it just because I wanted to play with it to see if if I could get it to get on plane, because I don't think we're getting on plane ever, maybe barely. And I'd love to get on plane, because then we would be skimming and it would be just a lot smoother ride. Now I've come to the conclusion that if I ever did put a different motor, at least I have the jack plate on there already to be able to adjust a different motor. Now, and another thing, I don't know, this is all thoughts. And another thing I do like is the fact that the motor is further off, because before it probably came up into here that far. This gives me more room to deal with steering cables, throttle cables, the fuel line, and all that. It gives me a little bit more room in the boat. But that's it for now. Just working on the boat. I'm gonna wash it up, put everything back in the little cubby in the front, put all that back up in there, put the anchor back, put the paddles back, and fix this hatch so you can actually stand on it. That's it. Thanks for watching.